I was a Division I athlete. I was a high performer in all different categories, 4.2 GPA student, and I hustled for my worth. I tell you those things not to brag about them because actually they nearly killed me. They nearly made me lose myself and my soul, even as a 17, 18, 19-year-old kid. I came into college hustling for my place, hustling for my value. You layer in having 4 kids in 6 years, being a pastor's wife at a large megachurch. This wasn't just like some small church. This was a 13,000 member church. Now is 30,000 members. We were in a fishbowl. Everybody was watching. So at 21 years old, I am in this fishbowl performing, knowing that there is a right way to talk, to walk, to speak, to pray, to sing. And then in the midst of all of that, we lost our son 6 years into this journey. I lose my number 3 son. We bury him. And weeks later, we're at a summer camp with 350 students that we're supposed to lead. And all I can think is, I do not want to be here. There's anywhere else on the planet that I'd rather be than here. Because I knew in order to make it through that week with students who this is their greatest week of their summer, they're here to like just connect with God and they're here to throw all their cares away. And I'm just like drowning. I'm drowning in sorrow and grief. And I'm looking at all these teenage kids thinking I will never have a teenager. I am just in this place everywhere in my life of having to set aside who I am and put on the mask and show up and just do it. Just do it. Shut yourself down, get through the moment, and then on the backside fall apart. And I did. I did this for years and years and years. And then you throw in businesses. I took this pattern with me into business. 3 businesses out of the 4, I would climb to the top and pretty much burn myself out. I was driven by proving. I had no idea. And that is where this business got birthed because I finally discovered that what I had been doing all along was living out of a high performing pattern of proving my value, proving I was valuable if and when I could achieve blank, fill in the blank. I was trying to live perfect. I was trying to follow a performance that somebody else had written for me, rules that somebody else had told me. This is how we play the game of life, spirituality, health, business, everything. Everything had rules and ways that I needed to conform and perform. And that pattern of performance driven hustle, it was so costly. I did my best to make sure it didn't cost my family. I did things like pull my kids out of school and homeschooled them while juggling 2 businesses. I made sure they could travel with us everywhere. And I was like the all attune mom, even in the midst of heartache and loss. But I'll tell you, the cost was me. I made sure that my children didn't pay the price. I pay the price. And eventually, if mom's paying the price and mom loses herself, eventually the kids do pay the price. That was my journey of coming up, of rising up out of those ashes and reclaiming myself, finding myself, discovering who I was apart from my husband and marriage, apart which was on, falling apart as well, because everywhere in my life, I was trying to just hold it all together. I was trying to discover who I was apart from work and my achievements and mothering. All these roles, rules, and responsibilities were crushing to me. I have watched other high performing women around me do the same thing. Different stories, different heartaches, different marker moments, as I call them, but chasing success, never feeling successful, never feeling valuable, and not chasing success for success sake. The women I work with do not just care about money. They want the money to provide security, safety, legacy, impact. So there's such great shiny meaning behind the chase for success. But what the women I work with don't realize is there is a pattern of hustle that is driving it, working in a way to prove their value oftentimes. And it just sneaks in there because it is a high performing pattern. Heal her and everything else rises. All along the way, I was trying to make everything in my life rise. I was elevating my kids. I was taking them to therapy, putting them in sports. I was putting them in, working my way through, trying to eventually put them in private schools and trying to help them rise. I was trying to help my businesses rise. My businesses were very driven in network marketing on helping other people rise. So I knew how to do that. But the person I didn't realize that was sinking the whole time everyone else was rising was me. It was like I was lifting everyone up and trying to juggle it all the while the water line was getting higher and higher and higher and higher until I literally was drowning. I developed adult asthma. I felt like I was suffocating, and I found myself saying, I'm suffocating, I'm drowning. I felt like there was 1,000,000 pounds on my chest every single day. And I'd already gone through so much healing after the loss of our son back in 2007, just months after. I'd done a week-long intensive, and it's what just lit my brain and my heart and my soul and mind up with healing works, healing transforms. This is it. I wanted to spend the rest of my life helping people get healed. And I did. I did it through my business. But what I didn't realize was there was things in me that weren't healing. As I was out there helping everyone else heal her, and everything else rises. Hustle isn't the problem. Hustling from your wound is. Hustle's not actually the problem. It's hustling from a wounded place instead of a place of wholeness, health, and wisdom that is. Success built in survival won't ever feel like success. You don't need more strategy. You need a you strategy. Business is won from the inside out. I'm so tired of hearing that there is some magic bullet. And I feel like I've lived my whole life as a business owner feeling like I'm missing something, that everybody else has it all figured out and I just don't, and I'm never going to get there. And so I'm just hustling, hustling, hustling on this hamster wheel. Wisdom over wound. Working from wisdom over your wound. Work like a woman. I've got a book coming out around this where I want to help women get back to working the way that we nurture and mother, working like a woman instead of we entered the workforce of men, a male driven, male dominated workforce and entrepreneurial space. And so when we started in this space in 1980, that was our visual. We didn't have a visual of what it looks like to be a feminine business owner, a female woman led company. So we stepped into the man's world and said, oh, we got to get up at 5 a.m. Oh, we got to hustle, 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 grind, grind, grind. But guess what? Testosterone replenishes every 24 hours. Our cycles are 28 days. We cannot work like men. We have to find a different, better way. And it starts with first and foremost owning the pattern that's driving you, getting you back into that healthy space. It's not just what I believe. It's not just about that anymore. It's what I can't not say anymore. Like I have to say these things. I have to help women learn how to rise, how to work from a different place. And when that kind of clarity is in place, when that is driving you and it's there, you stop trying to compete. You stop trying to compare and prove your stance, prove you're valuable. Your post, your words, your language starts to sound so different. You confidently own it and it actually starts to resonate with people that hear you. So this is where your category of one begins, with what you are no longer willing to stay silent about. What bold belief are you here to lead with? What is the belief that you're here to lead with?